Until recently, 5 to 10 people lived in a single house. Nowadays, a residence has only 2 individuals who watch TV in separate rooms. That is, what was once natural has become complicated. Then we say that relationships are complicated nowadays. Business is challenging. Parenting is challenging. Nature has unleashed its wrath. Everything, as we say, is complicated. Nothing is complicated on the outside. Complication is present in our minds. The result of our mental difficulty is seen outside. When we become complicated here, when we don't think clearly, our bodies will suffer. Relationships will disturb us. Environment is affected. Nature is affected by our state of mind. If the environment has to be silenced, we need to silence our mind. We need to empower the mind. So shall we take out time to nurture the inner garden. If we do that, then the outer garden will automatically flourish. If you are employed somewhere, you need to give blessings to your workplace every day. Today, there are so many who are unemployed in the country. There are also persons who go to work in the morning but are fired by the evening. So if we have a job, how much energy should we bring to our workplace? We must bestow blessings. Instead, we sit there, work there, and criticize the same location. We also criticize the individual who hired us. We continue to identify flaws in them. Isn't it true that we criticize co-workers when we are tired? So the place we earn money from, we are not being grateful to it. So we will not get a happy energy from the people we are working with. We should give blessings and gratitude to our workplace daily. Never do your job out of helplessness. There are 2 things that we frequently do unwillingly. One is in our office. We say, I need to do it, so I am doing it. If I acquire another job, I will resign this one right away. If we cook food for money or out of boredom with our jobs, and second, if we cook food out of helplessness, we are exhausted, but we have to do it, so we are doing it. Then existence itself becomes uninteresting and helpless. It will simply continue because money has come with an unwillingness energy. Food has been cooked with an unwilling energy. Even life will become that way. If money is earned with an energy of gratitude, if food is cooked with an energy of gratitude and in remembrance of God, then your life will be so beautiful that you will have so much to be grateful to. Because both of these energy must return home in pristine condition. Whatever job you have at work, don't do it grudgingly. There should be no sense of something being missing. Never remark, I have less than I need. There is no standard for determining how much is less or more. Someone may be extremely wealthy and yet claim, I don't have enough money. Someone will have much less money, but he will claim, I have a lot of money. Why do I require anything else? So whether we have less or more has nothing to do with our balance. It is dependent on the ideas we generate here. But in a house where the constant energy of conversations is of lacking and having less, each time we say, I have less, I have less, then what is the vibration we are radiating to our body? That we have less and less. So there will be a deficiency and lack in our health also. What are the things that we say we are lacking in life today? We claim that we have less money and fewer space at home. The largest epidemic is the notion that we have less time. Today, even young children complain, "I don't have time." This is not good energy. It is a lack of energy. What should the catchphrase be? Have we? Not simply more. As you think, so will it be. After all, our children learn their language from us. When we think and talk correctly, we elders began to remark in front of them, "I have no time." They also repeat the same today. And we sympathize, "My child is right. He has no time. He goes to school. He is into this and that activity." We started sympathizing with the child at that age. Our every thought, word and line need to be a blessing for children. If we start saying, "I have a lot of time" in front of them, "I have got more time than I need," and "How much money or wealth do we have?" How will you say it at home if you can't say it here? It's all about thinking correctly. Whatever you say, you will feel the same way. Your karma will reflect how you feel, and your destiny will be determined by your karma. If you keep complaining about not having enough, even if you have a lot of money, you will never be satisfied in life, because you have repeated a low energy word. Any mantra which you repeat manifests. That is why a mantra should be stated carefully. Today our mantra has been, "I have no time." Just check how many times you say this in a day. Whatever you say, you will feel accordingly. Your karma will reflect your emotions, and your fate will be determined by your karma. If you keep complaining about not having enough, even if you have a lot of money, you will never be happy in life. It is because you have been stating you are lacking. So even if your cupboard is brimming with riches, you will feel empty here. If we keep thinking and speaking such lines, what are we writing in our destiny? And what karma we are engaging in? How much time do we have? Even if someone else believes you are busy, tell them you are not. Ask them not to use that word for you. It does not imply that we are idle and available all day. It simply indicates that we are very easygoing and light here. You can work for 18 hours and still be extremely relaxed on the inside. You can also be retired at home and internally busy. You will come across someone who has retired from the military. They have returned home, but no one else appears to be busier than they are. They constantly telling me that I need to do this and that. Everything is right here. The weaker the soul grows, the more vitality and control it loses. Are we occupied? No. Every remark and thought we have must be full of enthusiasm. When we use busy, it is low energy, and when we use easy, it is high energy. If we believe we are busy, then we feel a turbulent energy internally. Otherwise, we will feel very easy. If we say we don't have any time, we will always feel a lack of time. But if you keep saying that you have more time than you need, you will actually have more time in reality. In every scene, our words need to be right. That is why people fear reciting mantras, because the effects can change if they are not appropriately pronounced. A mantra is a series of phrases that we repeat repeatedly. They become a fact, so never use low energy terms. Also included is the investment of our karmas. You can check at home today because it is Sunday. You can check it at work tomorrow. You must carry out all of your previous actions. However, make certain that the other person only receives happiness from you. I should make the other person happy. Can you concentrate on that? Yes. Which means the way you think about the other person, the way you speak to them, and your behavior with that person, which means you need to give up anger. Should we give it up or not? The more we create anger, the more we get depleted. And the more energy we deplete, the more angry we become. And gradually our way of speaking itself becomes rude. Do it, take it, keep it, we stop radiating respect to the other person. How can we be comfortable inwardly if we no longer respect others? Your anger has a great impact on yourself than it does on others. Are you in agreement? Yes, and yet you become enraged. We must recognize that my own happiness is slipping away. My health is deteriorating. My neighborhood's environment is becoming increasingly polluted. My workplace environment is becoming increasingly polluted. In a dirty environment, how can we live well? Aside from taking care of goods at home, we must also ensure that the energy or vibration of the house is raised. Just sit back and think of what are the changes you want to bring about at home, because of which energy of the house will increase. Energy of the house is not created just by following Vastu. People say the direction of your bedroom is not alright, and that is why you have frequent fights. Change the direction. And we say, why just the room? We will change the house itself. So we become ready within a moment to change everything externally. Even if you follow the finest advice, there is no room made in this manner. Even in the nicest house entirely complying with Vastu, there would be battles if the orientation of our ideas here in our head is not correct. Nowadays, everyone builds their homes, their businesses using Vastu principles. Before getting married, everyone has their horoscopes matched. Isn't it true that they were not intended to divorce? The horoscopes had coincided. They were all wedded on fortunate dates and at favorable times. What happened next? Because it's not enough to only keep external factors auspicious and perfect. That is just the first step. The most important is to have an auspicious mind. It is that mind which will run the business. It is that mind which will handle relationships. But we focused only on having the right Vastu, the right direction, auspicious day, auspicious Muhurat. Outside everything is perfect. If it were enough, everyone's fate should have been flawless. Because everything on the outside was great. Let us examine the most significant energy. Which energy is the most important? Everything is a science. Vastu is a science, as is astrology. But this is all science in the outside world. They have minimal impact on our lives. But throughout the day, which science is actively influencing us? The power of our minds. Vastu and astrology are only the beginning. All the remaining steps are here. We made the first step very beautiful. But when the remaining steps are shaky, we cannot climb the staircase. On the other hand, if one step is not fine, which means suppose the direction of your house is not right or the direction of your mall is not right, however, your thinking is flawless. Will we not simply skip over the initial step and continue on? We shall not stop there and claim my direction is incorrect, so my work is not being completed. My internal direction must be flawless. Let us keep in mind that soul force is greater than all other exterior energy. And if that soul also brings God's energy into being, the other external energies become irrelevant. Going higher should be the priority. As a result, we must rely on our own soul energy. We sometimes maintain a few artifacts around the house to balance the energy. We build such beautiful houses and then we hang a face painted in black, believing it will protect our house from evil eyes. Just think, will hanging a picture protect the house? If that was true, everything needs to be perfect in that house. And when there is an unpleasant event, we ask whose evil eyes are on our house. So is that picture which is hung outside the house not doing its work? All of the energy cannot be stopped by physical objects. Negative energy cannot be avoided by hanging lemon and chili. These are small things, yet they are supported by science. But if we don't care of our mental health, we cannot be protected from negative energy by hanging lemon and chili. That is not a possibility. That cannot happen if our energy is so low and we feel that hanging lemon and chili will make things better. We must use our energy to increase the energy of our home. When everyone in the house has a good mental attitude, the energy in the house rises. So what are the things to clean from our mind so that energy of the house rises? If Vastu of your room is not fine, then take a challenge. Tell them, we will not change the direction of our room. It will remain the way it is. We cannot be altering the room each time someone asks us to do so. They may be saying the right things, but how many times can we keep altering? Why can't we tell them, yes, I understood what you say. This room's or house orientation is incorrect, but I guarantee you that they will live in the same room but will never fight again. It is just a thought, but if someone felt the direction of my room is wrong, there will be a conflict today. My shop's location is incorrect. I am not going to do much business today. That is, we are doing the opposite of bestowing blessings on our home and business. As a result, there will be no success. And when that happens, we remark the direction was off, so my business or relationship failed. Keep your thoughts right. We don't need to change everything outside, because by repeatedly changing things outside, people are ready today to change their house, their shop, their name and color of their dress. They are even willing to change their spouse. They say they cannot get along with each other. People are eager to change occupations. They are not just unwilling to modify themselves. They are prepared to alter everything else. Everything else would have been beautiful outside if we had simply altered our minds, because it's all right there. So if we study spiritual wisdom given by God for 1 hour each day, fill our minds with wisdom early in the morning, connect with God and increase soul power, we will not need to change anything outside. Because when we have the strength here, Whenever there is an obstacle in life, then our own soul power combined with God's knowledge and power, and it will overcome even the biggest of obstacles. They will just come and go. We won't even realize that there was an issue at home, because soul power is always greater than the power of any obstacle in life. So let us clean up our energy in our houses now. Some people are quite conscientious about keeping their home tidy. That's an excellent habit to have. However, the family members began to argue about cleaning the house. They constantly lecturing each other and bickering about where and how items should be stored. Even guests will be afraid to touch anything in the house. Does it not happen? So without a question, our sanskar of cleanliness is a wonderful sanskar. However, cleanliness should not be limited to physical aspects. We should clean the house in such a way that there should be no single polluted thought or energy in it. If cleanliness becomes a matter of clashes at home, then there is no point cleaning. The house should have no stress. There should not be heavy energy in it, because it affects both us and our children at home. Let us clean up the thoughts and phrases that are contaminating our home. We already have more than enough things of comfort at home, but now we want to be happy. To accomplish this, we must increase the energy efficiency of our home. That energy cannot be cleansed or increased by hanging certain items around the house. The energy of our home is formed by the thoughts, words, and actions of the people who live in it. For example, suppose you plant 2 plants at home and begin talking to them in different ways. Do you think it will have an effect on the plants? If you have not yet experimented, do it and see the results. While watering the first plant, speak lovingly to it. While watering the second plant, keep grumbling and cribbing about it, and then see how both the plants grow. Our thoughts have tremendous power. These plants represent our environment. Every day, our dirty ideas have an impact on the environment. Food has a direct impact on our minds. So if we grow crops with a tensed mind, then cook food with a tense mind, and then consume it while speaking on the phone or in a stressful condition, what happens to our mental state? The environment will never be perfect. Nature does not always cooperate. However, if our mental state is good, our mind will impact the environment and our surroundings will change.